right, good Saturday morning, everybody. I think it's August 10th. August, yeah, I wish. October 10th. Is it the 10th or is it the 9th? I think it's the 10th. Anyway, making a parts run. I think I got everything figured out that we need for the wet line that we were working on last night. So I am heading to Rural King to get a couple of bolts and a whole bunch of oil. I need 15 gallons of hydraulic oil for the wetline kit. I need transmission oil for the old white, and I need transmission oil for the new Volvo because I drained both the trainees to change the wetline. And I need a couple screws that I talked about and everything else. So yeah, we're up and running. We'll check in later when we get into it. All right, made her back home. It's now 10 after 11. We've got 80W90 for the transmission in this truck. 20 gallons of hydraulic oil to go in that tank, along with what's we pumped out in them barrels over there. Once we get it mounted to this truck, here's the real kicker. Synthetic SAE 40 for the transmission in this truck. That barrel right there, this 5 gallon bucket, $450. That's crazy. This one was bad enough at 60 bucks. And then them, of course, them are all $20 barrels. But yeah, $450 for 5 gallons of transmission oil. Ouch. But you got to do what you got to do, right? They got you coming and going with this stuff. So anyway, I got to put a gasket. I got to put a gasket on, or a gasket sealer on this one, and get it skinned and put on the bottom of that truck. And so we can get that one sealed up and out of here. And Dad should be here any minute. And we can get busy getting stuff mounted on the new one. I've got bolts and gasket maker and more brake clean. Gotta love brake clean. All right, over and out. All right, everybody, different purple shirt today. I burn up these purple ones and get them all dirty and stained so I don't have to wear them anymore. Make shop rags out of them. Look like Barney. Sorry about that. Yeah, Sunday morning. Do you ever have one of them days where you try to put something together and it goes together, you think good, until you get it completely together, then you got to take it all apart and change something? That was yesterday, over and over and over. Everything we did yesterday, we had to do twice, 3 times. Take it back apart, change this. So anyway, we're back at it, or I'm back at it. Dad will be over here in a little bit. We had the tank set. We got the tank mount set, cut the holes in the deck plate, got it bolted down. And on the other truck, it had 2-inch nipples. Well, I need 6-inch nipples on this truck. So we had to take the tank back out, set it over here. In the meantime, stuff's coming out of it. I don't know if you can see that. That colored stuff's coming out of it. So we pulled the nipples out of the bottom and the valves, drained it out. Gonna temporarily put the nipples and valves back in it. I gotta run and get 6-inch nipples and But we're going to put some diesel fuel in there and flush it, slosh it around and flush it. So that's where we're at. But Lowe's is getting opened up now. So I'm going to run down to Lowe's and get 6-inch pipe nipples. Maybe we can get this all installed today. I screwed up a couple of little airline ferrules late. These little plastic boogers. See them little bitty plastic boogers right there that go inside of those. That go on the airline that size. Yeah, they must be one-time use things. So anyway, I'm going to lay that tank down, screw that stuff back in it temporarily, get some diesel fuel, about 5 gallons of diesel fuel in there, and I think I'm going to get a big strap, bring the excavator around and pick it up so it can sit there and rocks back and forth. So we'll check in. I hope today's better than yesterday. All right. See y'all later. All right, so me and Dad talked about flushing this tank out a little bit with some diesel fuel. I'm thinking there's got to be an easier way to do this. So a couple straps supporting it, and ta-da, excavator. And I do believe I can reach, once we get it all flushed out, I think I can reach all the way up to where it sits on the truck from behind it, to set it in place instead of manhandling like we did yesterday. Oh yeah, we had it in place yesterday. We realized we had to change the nipples on the bottom. So anyway, back out. Wow, what a day. It's about 7 o'clock at night, Sunday night. Me and Dad been out here 12 hours. Well, 11 hours anyway. We got this old girl, everything off of it that we needed. Got the plug back in the transmission, pumped the tranny full of fluid in that. So just a couple little things to button up on this one, and it'll be ready to go outside. This old girl, we got the tank mounted. Here, let me turn this around. We got the pump mounted the rest of the way under there. I've got lines hanging under there. We got a couple little air fittings that Dad's going to try and locate tomorrow. And we just went to Lowe's and got the last of the pipe that I think we're going to need. So what we're going to do, I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't. Let me find a flashlight real quick. There's like 3 of them floating around over here. I know one of them's under the truck. Here we go. Okay. You see that hose fitting right there? That shiny brass piece. That's as long as the hose was on the other truck. Well, this truck's a little longer. So, I got me a couple pieces of pipe. And what we're going to do is, took the bolt in there that was out. It wasn't long enough. Put another one in it. Got a nut for this one and this one underneath right there. So I made a template out of cardboard. Dad is going to make that tomorrow while I'm at the hospital with Tammy. And it's going to span across here. It'll be a plate stick out from this frame, probably, well, the width of a nut. So probably about 1/2, 3/4 of an inch. But what we're going to do is we're going to weld an upright pipe to that plate. Well, I'll just tack it or mark it or whatever. I'm not going to weld it on the truck, especially with all the electronics on this thing. But anyway, we'll weld that pipe up here. And then the hose that comes up and goes to the dump trailer, which we are getting new because the other one was showing its age, 20 years old, cracked and checked and everything. So we're getting a new one for that. The other ones were in decent shape, but they were under the truck, not out in the sunshine. So that's going to go down. And then I got an elbow, and I'm going to run a 20-inch piece of pipe over and catch that hose that I showed you. So instead of making longer hoses, we're going to substitute a little bit of pipe and come up here. The other truck, we came up through the deck plate, but we're not going to do that. We're going to come up the side right here. So it'll be proud right here, and then it can just loop around. There we go. That's better. Sorry about that. So it can come up here and it'll be fastened there, and then it can just loop around and rest against this tank. I'll have, I'll make some kind of a bracket to come up off the back with an arm that comes out here, that the hoses, the service lines, and the electric can come hanging off of that. And then this hydraulic hose will be hung into that too. I know on the other truck, on that truck, I had a bungee cord, a rubber tarp strap around this breather, the little short breather, and it hung down here and made a loop and went back up and hooked, and all these lines and the hydraulic hose was hooked through it. But I'll probably do that for right now until I can get a bracket made. But anyway, yeah, it's been it was a lot more work than I thought it was. I figured it'd be pretty easy going from one truck to another, but just differences between the two. And so yeah, a lot of putting stuff together, figuring out that it ain't gonna work that way, and then take it apart, put it back together, how it's gonna work. Go get some pipe, go get some this, and then them little air lines. Here, let me show you. What did I do with that flashlight? It's laying right here. Let me show you how the controls came out. We got the seat back in, got the controls mounted. I'm really happy with the way that come. Look out for the creeper. I still got those two lines and the red and the black wire. The black wire goes down to the pump control, but let me turn this on. So yeah, the seat's all the way down, and that's flush with the floor now. So, and let me hold this light. This screw, and this screw back here go all the way through the floor. And I've got nuts on the underside of them. This screw, it wasn't possible to do. So this one just holds, see this chrome piece, or this aluminum plate, and there's a shim underneath of it, actually hold the valve assembly to the aluminum plate here that this is all mounted on. So I think I explained that in the other video. But anyway, so these three screws here, here, and here go all the way through the floor, and nuts on the bottom of them, and tightened up. So yeah, so she's rock solid up and down here. Engage the PTO here. So I'm really happy with how that came out. And like I said, we got the floor mat back down, got the seat put back in it, the seat belts, all that stuff. So boy, you gotta slam the door unless the other one's open or the window's down. The cab is good and tight, that's for sure. So anyway, not quite sure what we're going to do with this old girl yet. I don't know. I might stick some money into it. Maybe try to find a little hopper bottom to put behind it and have two trucks running. Just that much more, especially in corn. I got a couple friends that would jump in either one of them if I wanted them to. Tammy's brother Stan, he'd jump in either one of them and run for me if I wanted to. So yeah, I think all we got to do is we got to get this deck plate put back down here and bolted back down. And she's good to go. Give her a good greasing, and there's the fitting for the trailer. I'll put that up here so we don't lose it. But yeah, this big hose here, that's 1.25 inch hose. I got that wedged in there in the frame and down here between the tires, trying to straighten it out because it had a pretty good bend in it on the other truck, but it needs to be straight on this one. So the other bends I can deal with, but that one there was pretty tight kink. So yeah, went through 4 cans of brake clean. This SuperTech stuff was what they sell at Walmart. Brake parts cleaner. I'm really impressed with it. I mean, it's the cheap SuperTech stuff, but I was really impressed with it. And well, yesterday when I was at Rule getting parts, fittings and stuff, I actually picked up some Blaster. I know that's probably backwards for you. Some Blaster brake parts cleaner. It was $2.99 a can. So I wasn't going all the way to Walmart just for some more brake clean. So I picked that up, and it worked good. It worked good. The little pump, yeah. I bought this little pump laying here at Harbor Freight the other day, and we put it in that 80-90 weight to pump into that transmission in the white. And at first it was going really good. Then all of a sudden the hose started growing, and it was about twice the size. Come to find out, there was a check ball in here. There's a spring. Hang on. There's a spring in here and a check ball that rides up in here. And when you pump it, check ball goes down and fluid goes around it. And then when you stop pumping, the check ball closes up and keeps it from dribbling out of the hose. Well, the spring was messed up, and the check ball closed the tip off, and hi Max, and it wouldn't let it go, and Dad was still pumping, and luckily we caught it. So pulled the spring out and the ball fell out, and it worked fine after that. So I don't know, we'll see. I might take it back and get another one, being that one's broke, but who knows. All right, the old 970 sitting here. I got to put tie rod ends in that yet. But we got to get beans off so I can get some wheat planted. It should have been done a week ago. I didn't, I figured a day and a half to change them over. I knew I was going to have to get longer hoses just from the style of the truck, but all this other stuff that just wasn't the same. In the back of my mind, I knew it, but I was wishful thinking. I was hoping. But anyway, so we're calling it an early night tonight. Dad went home. I'm going to go in and take a shower because I am filthy. And put some clean clothes on and go get his Buick. He's got a Buick Enclave, I think it is. Rides real nice. And Tammy's having her hip surgery done tomorrow morning. So we have to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning, be on the road by 4 o'clock, have her up there by 5 o'clock for a 7:15, 7:30 surgery. The surgery's 7:30, but I'm sure there'll be a whole bunch of stuff before that. So her COVID test come back negative, so it's all a go. So all I got to do is get her up there. But yeah, 2 hours before the surgery. So we got to be up there by 5:15. So we need to leave by 4:15. So yeah, 3 o'clock. It's going to come awfully early. But hopefully tomorrow afternoon, evening, she will walk out of no complications, she'll walk out of there tomorrow with the aid of a walker and come home. So tomorrow we'll be busy doing that. Dad is going to run and he's going to run and get that hose made, and he's going to try and find them fittings. Them little compression fittings for the nylon air hoses that we need. And that's it. We got everything. Well, I think we have everything else we need. So Tuesday, depending on how Tammy's doing, hopefully I get her up in the morning, and I've got the whole week off to take care of her. But hopefully Tuesday morning when we get up, I can get her up and get her around, and she's good to that I can come out here and work for a couple hours at a time, you know, go back in and check on her and stuff like that. And I'll have my phone with me so she can call me. I don't have an intercom system in the barn. That's what cell phones are for. But yeah, so it's been an adventure. It's been an adventure. Yeah. I still am so happy that I put them skylights in there. A bunch of people told me not to, but I did it. And they're acrylic so that they won't turn yellow. They're not like the polycarbonate fiberglass ones or whatever they used to be that they would turn all yellow and get brittle. They're acrylic, so they're supposed to stay clear as a bell. I don't know. Look at these clouds rolling. They rolled in earlier this afternoon, but there's a breeze. Of course, the breeze is coming in off the lake, off the northeast, so it's cooled down. But yeah, the wrong way. Trees are changing colors. So yeah, hopefully Tuesday we can get that done and start running beans. And then I got the sprayer on Scooter. This field back there that's going to wheat, that's really clean. And so I'm not going to spray it before I plant the wheat. We changed actually where we're putting wheat at Dad's. I think that field's pretty clean too, and Woodville's pretty clean. So I don't think I'm going to spray anything before we plant wheat. So yeah, hopefully by the end of the week we got some wheat in the ground. And but yeah, so I'm heading in the house and take a shower, go get the Buick. Tammy's got to take a shower, then dry off. An hour later, got these wipes. We got to wipe her whole body down with these disinfectant wipes. And so we're gonna go for there. Thanks for watching, everybody. I know it didn't show much, but it was just so busy I didn't. And Dad's not real fond of the filming anyway, so. But we're done, and thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.